Hello guys, my name is Victor Bloodstone. Today is day 19 and today I will be telling you guys about 5 real, scary and disturbing horror stories of haunted mansions. So let's get started. Story 1. The Ghostly Inhabitants. The haunted mansion stood at the edge of town, its crumbling facade a testament to its dark and mysterious past. As I approached, a sense of foreboding washed over me, a feeling that I was about to uncover secrets best left forgotten. The front door creaked open as if by some unseen force, inviting me inside. I stepped over the threshold, the air heavy with dust and decay. The grand foyer stretched out before me, its ornate furnishings draped in cobwebs and shadows. I ventured further into the mansion, the floorboards groaning beneath my weight. As I explored the dimly lit corridors, I heard a sound, a soft whispering coming from the darkness. Intrigued, I followed the noise, my heart pounding in my chest. I entered a room filled with ghostly apparitions, their translucent forms drifting through the air. They reached out to me with spectral hands, their eyes pleading for release. I tried to flee, but their whispers grew louder, filling the room with a sense of overwhelming despair. In that moment, I knew I had stumbled upon something beyond comprehension. From that day forward, the haunted mansion haunted my every waking moment, its presence a constant reminder of the horrors that lurked within its walls. No matter where I went, it followed me like a specter, its ghostly inhabitants forever etched into my mind. Story 2. The Cursed Portrait. The haunted mansion loomed before me, its crumbling towers reaching up towards the sky. As I approached, a chill ran down my spine, a feeling of unease that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the building. I stepped inside, the air thick with dust and decay. The grand staircase spiraled upwards, its banisters adorned with cobwebs and shadows. I climbed the stairs, the floorboards groaning beneath my weight, until I reached the top floor. There, in a dimly lit room, I found a portrait of a woman with eyes that seemed to follow me wherever I went. Intrigued, I approached the painting, my heart pounding in my chest. As I studied the portrait, I felt a sense of dread wash over me. The woman's face twisted and contorted before my eyes, her features morphing into something monstrous and grotesque. Suddenly, the painting came to life, the woman stepping out of the frame with a malevolent grin. I tried to flee, but she reached out and grabbed hold of me with ghostly hands, pulling me into the darkness. In that moment, I knew I had stumbled upon something beyond comprehension. From that day forward, the haunted mansion haunted my every waking moment, its presence a constant reminder of the horrors that lurked within its walls. No matter where I went, it followed me like a specter, its cursed portrait forever etched into my mind. Story 3. The Malevolent Entity. The haunted mansion stood at the edge of town, its dark and imposing silhouette casting a shadow over the surrounding landscape. As I approached, a sense of dread washed over me, a feeling that I was about to uncover something truly sinister. I stepped inside, the air thick with the scent of decay and rot. The walls were adorned with faded tapestries and crumbling portraits, their subjects staring down at me with hollow eyes. I ventured further into the mansion, the darkness closing in around me like a suffocating blanket. Suddenly, I felt a presence, a malevolent force watching me from the shadows. I turned to flee, but the doors slammed shut behind me, trapping me inside with the entity. Panic seized me as I realized I was not alone in the mansion, that something sinister lurked in the darkness, watching, waiting. In that moment, I knew I had stumbled upon something beyond comprehension. From that day forward, the haunted mansion haunted my every waking moment, its presence a constant reminder of the horrors that lurked within its walls. No matter where I went, it followed me like a specter, its malevolent presence forever etched into my mind. Story 4. The Sinister Dollhouse. The haunted mansion loomed ominously before me, its ancient structure appearing as though frozen in time. As I stepped through the threshold, a chill swept over me, a sensation that seemed to seep into my very bones. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of dust and decay. I wandered through the dimly lit corridors, my footsteps echoing off the cold, stone walls. The mansion seemed to stretch on endlessly, its labyrinthine halls filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. I entered a room at the end of a long hallway, its walls lined with shelves upon shelves of old toys and trinkets. But it was the dollhouse in the corner that caught my eye, a perfect replica of the mansion itself, down to the smallest detail. As I approached the dollhouse, a feeling of unease settled over me. The dolls inside seemed to stare at me with lifeless eyes, their painted smiles twisted into grotesque grins. I reached out to touch one of them, but as my fingers brushed against its porcelain skin, I felt a surge of malevolent energy coursing through me. Suddenly, the dolls came to life, their joints creaking as they moved with unnatural grace. They surrounded me, their tiny hands reaching out to grab hold of me with surprising strength. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips as they dragged me into the dollhouse, their laughter echoing in my ears. In that moment, I knew I had stumbled upon something beyond comprehension. From that day forward, the haunted mansion haunted my every waking moment, its presence a constant reminder of the horrors that lurked within its walls. No matter where I went, it followed me like a specter, its sinister dollhouse forever etched into my mind. Story 5. The Haunting Melody. The haunted mansion stood at the edge of town, its once grand Section 8 now crumbling and decayed. As I approached, a sense of foreboding settled over me, a feeling that I was about to uncover something truly sinister. I stepped inside, the air thick with the scent of dust and decay. The grand foyer stretched out before me, its ornate furnishings draped in cobwebs and shadows. But it was the sound that caught my attention, a haunting melody that seemed to echo through the halls. I followed the sound, my heart pounding in my chest as it led me deeper into the mansion. The melody grew louder with each step, filling the air with a sense of unease. Finally, I reached a grand ballroom at the heart of the mansion. The room was empty save for a grand piano standing in the center, its keys stained with age and neglect. As I approached the piano, the melody grew louder still, its haunting notes filling the air with a sense of dread. I hesitated for a moment before sitting down at the bench and placing my fingers on the keys. But as I began to play, the room seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy. Shadows danced along the walls, and the air grew thick with the scent of decay. Suddenly, the keys moved of their own accord, the melody twisting and warping into something dark and sinister. Panic seized me as I realized I was not alone in the room, that something malevolent lurked in the darkness, watching, waiting. In that moment, I knew I had stumbled upon something beyond comprehension. From that day forward, the haunted mansion haunted my every waking moment, its presence a constant reminder of the horrors that lurked within its walls. No matter where I went, it followed me like a specter, its haunting melody forever etched into my mind. If you liked the stories, then consider liking the video and subscribing my channel, as it would motivate me to make more videos for you guys, and thank you for watching this video.